Welcome back to another live session from Forex Trading Wizard Academy. NOI session live, and we are seeing that the market is pretty volatile at the moment. Gold is trending along with euro dollar, and British pound US dollar also having a nice looking trend. And euro dollar, we can see there is possibility for another bounce here on Euro USD along with the British pound US dollar. That we can see the market is also trending with Gbpusd from this trend line. We have seen that there is a breakout here. Now with that on Xauusd as well as euro dollar and British pound US dollar, these are some of the pairs that we will be looking at in this live session, along with that on dollar yen, also Gbpjpy. We'll keep eye on this to see if there is any trading opportunity in the market. And traders, this is an exclusive live from Forex Trading Wizard Academy. If you guys can hear me, can you say yes in the live chat? And also give a thumbs up, smash it. Welcome. This is gonna be an exclusive live here. Waiting for everyone to confirm. Thank you. Hey everyone, thank you. Good to see everyone back on track. We had a previous live session that we have opened in the previous live, where if you look at here, that you can see the market on gold. Previous session from this support level, the price has made its bounce back to the upside. That you can see without breaking below, it pushed back to the upside. Now the market from this resistance again dropped back down below here, so which is basically the market is going up and down in a very narrow range and waiting for the market to show its hand at the moment for us to find an entry opportunity. Here you can see there is a consolidation, and in that consolidation the price may potentially bounce here to create a new higher high. So looking at that bigger picture to see overall direction in this market, first of all looking at the daily chart on gold, and I'm going to do now a full multi-time frame analysis, and then we will be looking for entry. So looking at first of all here a monthly chart to see overall picture in this market. So looking at the monthly, this is the monthly support level, and from this monthly support that you can see there is a sharp bounce back to the upside here. And with this breakout on the monthly from this support level, we can see the price is bouncing back to the upside to create a new higher high. This is the previous monthly high. Okay, so we can see the price crossing that high here, and from that level we may see the market is breaking back to the upside to create a new higher high. If we look at the weekly chart here, that you can see from the weekly time frame there is a series of higher low. Okay, so with that series of higher low formation, the price is currently breaking to the upside, which is a weekly bullish candlestick pattern that you can see. And previous weekly high, the price has just crossed that high, and here the market may potentially continue to back to the upside. Any pullback is where the opportunity for us to go long here in this market. So looking at the daily, from the daily time frame, that we can see this is the daily price action. From this long week candle, there is a sharp bounce to the upside with this is a narrow daily candlestick pattern, and today so far the market formed a red doji here on the daily. And because the market on that one here with this red doji, what I think the price may potentially retest this support and then to revert back to the upside again. Looking at the intraday time frame from the 4-hour chart here, that you can see there is a narrower area here on the 4-hour that you can see from the 1-hour and the 15-minute chart here. There is what you can see a big drop here from this 15-minute chart. The market has dropped to that support level, and what we can see from here, the market is potentially, we can see that this drop here, guys, on the 15 minutes that we can see is basically another retest of the previous support level that you can see, and then the market now again pushing back to the upside here. So from the lower time frame price action, what we can see on gold is, as this is a key level of support, and now dropping down to the 5-minute chart to see what kind of market structure might be forming. On the lower time frame, here is the support level, and that is where support here, and also support here, which is a very important level of support, and also support here, support here, support here, support here, which is a long-term support that you can see. And in that support level, what we can see that the market to, as we have seen that breakout now at this point, what we could see the price to retest this level and then to potentially have another bounce back to the upside. 4-hour time frame here, from once the candle opened here, that you can see the price straight has started to drop in that direction here in this market. So that being said, from the lower time frame, the price tested this support and expecting it to again revert back to the upside. So once the market managed to break this support here from this today's low that we can see at 33416 level, which is today's low here. Now if the price break this today's low or approach that level, that's where we will be able to find possible further better entry opportunity. And also the 4-hour support that you can see here, the market tested that, also an important liquidity zone that you can see that the market to potentially retest and then to reject back. Previous session that you guys have seen that we open buy from here, and the market in fact has shot up to the from that level to the upside and given us a very incredible trade previous session. Now expecting from this support level again the market to reject back to the upside to create a new higher high in this market, right? So what we can see here in this area, that there is a bounce. The market is now potentially pulling back to that support here and then to return to the upside. Waiting for the market to show its hand. As soon as we find suitable entry, we'll be looking into that. Thanks for joining, guys. Hope that you are enjoying this live session. Make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you're not missing any of the content that I am posting every single day. So here is previous 5 minutes, a bearish call for the market has dropped to that low, and in that level that you can see the price has dropped to that, and from this support level there is a Currently the price is trying to push back to the upside, expecting it to revert in that direction here and then to continue to rise to create a new higher high in this market. So it's a long-term bull market waiting for the price to give us suitable entry, guys. Trading is sometimes more of strategy as well as the patience, right? So we see that from the technical, understanding the technical analysis, understanding the right area to buy or sell is easy when you are trading, right? But when you are looking at the market from the technical point of view, if you are not a complete beginner, definitely you know that it's not that hard to find out proper entry. But at the same time, focusing on learning is very important, because it takes a little bit of time to become efficient in reading the market. And it's important that, if you are dedicated as a trader, then you are spending enough time to learn it. But it's not, as I mentioned, not difficult. It's all about pattern and price action to know that. Now in these days, if you look at the chart, it's all about the candlestick pattern, right? The buyers and sellers activities on the other side is represented by this candlestick pattern that you can see, and that is the only information that you need to read the market, because this is only the visible information, isn't it? If you look at the chart, and unfortunately you'll see that most traders rely on invisible information that is not there. So focusing on what we see on the chart is the most important part, and it works, isn't it? If you look at the ATR, right? So, and the smart money's way to trade the market based on liquidity, based on price action, is the next level trading, right? So if you looked at some of our trade that we have opened on euro, dollar and gold that you guys have seen on the premium group, what was the most important part that we looked at when we opened those trade? When we look at the rice pot, okay, you don't have to eat the whole rice to understand that it is cooked. You just need to look at one rice, right? So let's look at that one rice here that you need to know to understand that it's cooked. Let's look at some of the trade that you opened, including the euro dollar and the gold trade, both of them. And because as a part of that analysis, and also the previous session you opened that gold trade, we will be looking at that trade as well, so that you guys know that exactly in what situation we have opened that trade. In this live session as well, you have seen that, including the one we did in our previous day on gold and as well as on euro dollar. So the previous session we opened that this is the trade that we have opened, gold, and also this is the trade, the buy trade that I have shared in the group, so that for those who are trading also can copy if you like. And this is a premium trade and also this live trade. Now let's understand, because when you analyze that trade, it becomes much easier for you to pick the next trade in the same way, and the next one and the next one. That's how you can, that reprogram your mind. You can rewire your brain to create a new neural pathway, right? So trading is a habit. It's the habit. That's why you'll see that when traders keep losing their create that habit. When you are winning, also you create that habit of winning trade. Let's see here what you can see from the 1 hour and the 4 hours. So if I look at the previous session's low, okay, so this is the level that we bought in our previous session. If you look at the trade that I have shared in the group, this is the trade that you have shared in the group, and let's look at what did you looked at in that trade. So looking at the 5 minutes here, that you can see this is the level that we bought, right, in our previous session. And okay, so this is the level that we are buying here. So this is the level that we bought. Now, what was the significance in that trade that we have opened? Guys, this is the most important information that you need to look at when you are opening the trade. So I would highly encourage you to pay attention, right? Before I discuss about that information, I would appreciate if you like this stream, if you are liking the education as well as the live trade that we are opening every day. All right, thank you. Now, what is the most important information here that you need to look at? You see that this is the candle open, 4 hour. This is the opening. And then the market started to shoot back to the upside. Cross the previous swing high with one single move, right? And then the market dropped to that same support level. Okay, so this is the previous session's low here. The market has come from that intraday candle, the session's low, daily low, session's high, daily high. This is the most important point, and it always works. You have seen that. Why? Because that the major trend in this market is bullish, right? So you can see that it's a bull market, and in this bullish market, what do you see here? Okay, so you can see that it's a very important support level. And in this bullish market, if you look at here, you can see the market drop to that support. And then from this support level, the market has made its way back to the upside, followed by this pullback, and then the market start to move back to the upside. So if you look at that 4 hour time frame, here is the candle open, the price from that support level went back to the upside and then drop back to the downside again. So even if you look at the 15 minutes chart, in the same way. So this is the candle, the previous session's low here, and from that zone the market has made its move back to the upside, drop with one single bearish move. Now if we look at the ATR value of this on the 15-minute chart, we can see that this is where 38 points. So if you look at 38 pip, which is nearly to 100 pip move, one single drop, so which is almost nearly to 2.5 ATR move in one direction, and the price just has got that rejection back to the upside from that level. All right, so this is where we can see the market has made its move, and we could see that the price to potentially continue to move in one direction here. So that is where you can see the price from that level has made again another bounce back to the upside, currently in a sideway. So if you look at the 4-hour close, the candle, we might see a candle close in 1 hour. So you'll see that candle close in 1 hour 20 minutes, and in this time, in this period here, the price that you can see, it's a support level, and when the price penetrated that low, it has made its move, and we can see the price just from this support level having a momentum. So that being said, okay, that being said, here we can see the market from this support level multiple times it tested that low and form a kind of now a head and shoulder, but the head and shoulder is may not play out here because the bullish trend is the most important part here, because it's a long-term bull market. So if it is any kind of reversal pattern on the support, that is where the most important pattern that you need to look at when we are opening position in this market. So that being said, here on the lower time frame, we can see the price to revert back to the upside from this support level, and you can see it's an important support, expecting that the market to break that low and then to reject back again to the upside here. So we can see that the price is respecting this support. This is the 1 hour price action. The way it is forming, which is a potentially a bull market. So you can see that this is the 1 hour price action where 1 hour 20 EMA is being tested multiple times, right? So, and because the market is testing that 1 hour 20 EMA multiple times, we might see the price to revert back to the upside. Here is, if you look at here, you can see it's penetrated below and then gone back up and then drop again. So whenever the price is breaking below this 1 hour 20 EMA, the bulls pushing that price to the upside. So that is a possibility that this market may bounce back to the upside again in the major direction of the trend. So that's what you can see, the market is potentially preparing a bounce here, and that bounce could lead that price back to the upside to create a new higher high in this market. So, and here is an important support that you can see, which is 1 hour price action. From the 4 hour that you can see from here is dropped back to that level. So 5-minute chart that I'm waiting for a break of this trend line and then to reject back again to the direction of the trend. Whenever we look at a market that is in a trend, so also we need to look at where the price in relation to the sessions low high, because again I'm going back to 4 hour time frame. I'm changing time frame, which is important to see that overall picture. So you can see this is the 4 hour, and the market in a forming a kind of triangular pattern that you can see. It's a triangle, right? So this is a triangle here. This is a triangle, and because it's a triangle that you can see, so what do you see here? You see the market is forming series of higher low and also forming series of lower high, right? So series of lower high, back to back 3 candle created a lower high, and also back to back 3 candle created a higher low. So with that series of lower high and higher low, it's concentrating into one point, creating a triangular pattern. Now, what kind of a structure is this? Let's ask this question. What kind of a structure is this? It's a bull market or a bear market? So when you see that a pole, okay, so you can see that a pole, and with that pole there is a triangle formation. So a pole, the market may, you can see it has broken below, and then the market forming a triangular pattern here. So that triangular pattern that you can see, a pole and then triangle, so the market is here potentially to break to the upside. This is how the market moves, right? So a pole, a triangle, which is a pattern, which is a bullish pattern, we might see the market is breaking to the upside here from that level. So that being said, as it is bullish market, if this 4-hour candle is closing within this triangle that you can see, then the market potentially to trend back to the upside here. And that's what you're waiting to see, the market to break to the upside here. Now here the market, you can see this is a triangle that if we look at the lower time frame, we can spot that triangle that the market is forming, and from that triangular pattern we see that the price is, you can see here, series of lower high and also series of higher low. Now if the market breaks in one direction here, that means that support, that's gonna be a huge opportunity for us to go long, because from those triangle, as the rule of thumb, it should be breaking to the upside here. But before it is breaking to the upside, we could see that break to the downside, grab the liquidity, and then to return back again to the upside to create a new higher high. And waiting for that market to show that potential break. So our goal here is to look at, for today's low is here, and the previous session's low is here. So both of this level that we have drawn, and to see if the market is breaking any of this low, and if the market breaks any of this low, that means that 3420 or 3419 or 3416 level If the market breaks any of this low, that's where we'll be looking into potential buy here. Waiting for that potential break below here, and if the market is breaking below here from this support level, that is where I'm looking for potential entry, because it's a bull market. And tomorrow coming up quite a few high impact news that you guys have seen already. We discussed that will definitely will give a big move potentially in the market. So if you look at the calendar here, you can see that this is the calendar. And coming up on Thursday, tomorrow, that means 1 p.m. AUD, and then 5 p.m. coming up Euro, and then followed by 6:30 p.m. GBP, and then 10:15 p.m. Euro. So which is basically a sharply trend, quite a few instruments, followed by later in the evening will come unemployment claims, ECB press conference on Euro, as well as flash manufacturing PMI and flash service PMI on dollar. So all of them adding up to a huge volatility in the market. So that is the one of the reason here we can see the market on gold is consolidating for a potential breakout with the upcoming news. So keep in mind, at the moment it is in a bullish trend. So therefore this is the low of the daily, today's low. What the price might do here, the price to break below this low, okay, so coming back below this low and then to trend back to the upside again here in this market. Thanks for joining the live session, guys. Hope that you're enjoying. Now here is what we can see the market to possibly to revert back here. Hi sir, is that a head and shoulder formation on 5 minutes? Will the price fill the FVG on the chart? So Joe asked an important question here. Is the head and shoulder formation 5 minutes? Will the price fill the FVG in the 4-hour chart? So on the 5 minutes, it is a head and shoulder, right, that we already discussing. So we can see that, spot that head and shoulder. So if you look at here, this is the head, the left shoulder and the right shoulder, right? So that head and shoulder giving some kind of bearish momentum here. The market is slowly building that pressure to potentially drop down here with this head and shoulder on this one here. Now you can see this is a head and shoulder, and that's head and shoulder that you can see the market is playing out to break below, because it's a long-term bull market. It's a long-term bull market. So breaking this support is where we could see that entry to the upside, because if that head and shoulder, let's say if it is an inverted head and shoulder like this one here, So you can invert the chart here. Okay, if that one like that, then I would look to buy here, right? Because it's the trend is to the upside. So, but it's now opposite. You can see the market is breaking that support here, breaking the support, and it might now try to break below further to the daily low, and that is what we will be looking into the trade. Already the market has tested this support, and from the 1 hour again the price is broken below. This is the 1 hour bearish engulfer. 4 hour chart here, that you can see the price just has crossed that low here. So it might even reject back again, right? So because if you look at the 1 hour, you can see it's a pretty sharp bearish engulfer. Now that 1 hour bearish engulfer may lead that price back below here, which is an important zone here that you can see. And this is the daily low. It may now try to break below and then to reject back again to the upside. So this is what I'm waiting here from the 4 hour chart, for the price to possibly trend down, break below, and then to you can see daily level. This is the daily low, which is 3416. And what it might do here, the price to break the daily low and then to bounce again back to the upside, because it's a long-term trend, long-term bull market that you can see here in this instrument. So you can see here the 5 minutes, which is forming a long wick bearish candle, getting that rejection. I'm not selling here at the moment because it's a long-term bull market. Rather, we will be waiting for a possible break to this 3416 support and then to return back again to the upside here. If you hide the watch list, chart will be visible better. I think charts is still visible, isn't it? Hi coach, what is the best broker for trading Xauusd? Thank you. Hi coach, bullish Gbpusd, what's up? Yeah, we will be looking at Gbpusd as well. So if you look at here, what we can see that British pound US dollar that we are looking at, and Gbpusd, what we can see here in this instrument, British pound US dollar, which is currently having a bullish trend. Gbpusd as well as the euro dollar, both of them currently in a bullish trend. So you can see that Gbpusd from the 1 hour, which is sharp bullish uptrending market structure, that you can see from the 4 hour as well, which is showing that 4 hour candle closing as a bullish price action, from the daily as well, as which is bull market. So I'm going to look at Gbpusd, especially here. You can see the price slowly building up the pressure. Tomorrow coming up, euro and GBP news. Now this market here from the daily, which is pretty sharply bull market, from the 4 hour chart as well, forming a doji. So this doji also a potentially a bullish price action. From the 1 hour that you can see forming also a pin bar here, and that pin bar, what I think, it's also possibly an upside bias. We have 18 seconds for this candle to close, and on the Gbpusd here I see that there is a possible entry opportunity with 2 to 1. This is a swing trade. I will be running this trade even when I'm not on live, so I'm setting up a trade on Gbpusd. I will be also later going back to gold trade that we are looking at, but at the moment we see there is a possibility on Gbpusd that I am looking at for an entry for the tomorrow's news coming on Gbpusd. So we could see that the market is getting pretty volatile on British pound US dollar here in this market. So looking at Gbpusd, I'm looking at buy here and TP target at 357.6.10, 1.35761, and so I open a buy on Gbpusd, which is like the euro dollar. What I think Gbpusd may remain bullish here, for there is a doji formation on British pound US dollar. Below this level there is a high liquidity, expecting it to have a rejection back to the upside on Gbpusd. Here is where you can see that Gbpusd maintaining that bullish market structure, and would like to take this trade here for upside bias with very tight risk and stop loss. So looking at Gbpusd buy here and expecting the market to potentially remain bullish. 4 hour chart here, there is a doji. So this is, we'll be running the trade for, there is a 30 minutes price action. So there will be around 16 pip stop loss on this trade, and I will keep that trade running even when I'm not on live. We said that, let it run by itself. Now gold has just broken below this. If you look at here 4 hour chart, the market has just broken that daily low, which is pretty sharp drop here. Now we will be looking for any entry very soon. It's the market below this level. Let's wait to see how far. There's a big fair value gap. There is a support level here, and I think at some point the market may get the rejection. Still, those lines that draw the new levels here on gold, and as 5 minute chart here, this is a break of support on gold that you can see. And from the daily, if you look at here, you can see this is the daily price action. It's a sharp drop from the top approaching this fair value gap. And because on a fair value gap, we might see the market to drop below and then to reject back again sharply at any point. So we will be waiting for the market to penetrate below as much as it can. And what I think that with this drop here, we might see the price to come back here to retest and then to reject back again. So if you look at the weekly price action, you can see it's a sharp move back to the here from the weekly perspective. The price has reached that resistance, and then coming back here from the daily, we see the price in fact coming to this previous resistance, which is turning support here. And from the 4-hour chart here, that you can see the market to potentially return back here in that direction. So it's a sharply falling market. We'll be waiting for the price to drop back below and then to reject back again to the upside. So here is what you can see, that the market to a break below. It's a sharply, there's a huge fair value gap in that area. And with this fair value gap, the market to potentially penetrate below, and the way the market is heading, it may come back to any of these swing low here and then to return back again to the upside. Waiting for the market to fill that fair value gap, and once it fills the fair value gap, we might see that the price to, this is the daily price action. Now we see that in that area, from those levels in the past, there were significant reversal that we have seen in the past. Now if this market is about to reverse, then it is possible to have a reversal, but I don't think that the reversal will happen instantly. We might see potential retest and then to have that reversal. Now 5 minutes candlestick pattern that you can see here. If we look at the 1 minute, also standing, which is pretty sharp downtrend here. At any point, because the market in a very is what I say, the no man's land. There is no, you can see there is nothing here, so it's a void. It may instantly drop back below to 3405, or it may instantly bounce back up. Waiting to see what kind of price action is forming. Now if it is forming and a very stronger bearish price action, we can look for short-term sell, but if it drop down immediately below this support and then prepare for a breakout or a reversal, we can look for that entry. Now this 4-hour candle, you can see we have 50 minutes to go for this 4-hour candle, and before the candle close, how the price creates the structure, that's the key here to look at. And you can see before the candle close, just trying to get back to the upside. So you see pretty strongly volatile at the moment, and that is strongly bearish here at the moment. So what you can see, the market is trying to, after this break to the upside, is trying to create a pressure in that area, and (15 minutes), it's also forming long bearish engulfer with a long wick at the bottom. Now how this 15 minutes bearish engulfer is being closed, also important to look at, because that will determine that the next candle, how it's gonna create the structure. We're seeing here very narrow bearish price action. I'm looking also the very lower time frame on the 1-minute chart. We might see what I think that the price to break below here, and let's see that if we place a pending order for a possible breakup structure in that area. This is, if you look at the 15 minutes, this is the current support here on the 15-minute chart, and 5 minutes to bearish candle from the 1 minute. Also the price is trying to push back to the upside here. So you might see some downside momentum here in this market, and here I will be placing a sell stop here below this level, stop loss above this high, and target to this level here. So if the market breaks below, which we might see that the market to break below here, then we will be selling this market. So sell stop that placing at 3411.90. It's a short-term sell as the market has broken below. So sell stop at 3411.90. Stop loss that you can see here at 3416 101.67, and TP target here is at 3405.32. So this is the current pending order that you can see on Xauusd, placing on the lower time frame for a potential break below. So expecting a potential rejection here on the lower time frame. If the market breaks below, then we will be on this trade here on the lower time frame. So you can see the market slowly trying to push back to the upside. If the price bounce back to the upside, that's where we will be entering into that trade. So if the price break below, we are on the trade. Otherwise, we will be waiting to see how the price might be forming. It might just continue to push back up again in the major direction of the trend. So if you look at the lower time frame here, it's the 1 minute chart, and getting some rejection here. So this is a sell stop. If the price breaks this swing low, we will be on the trade. So the pending order on Xauusd, sell stop placed at 3411.90, stop at 3416.67, and TP target here at 3405.32. Place the sell stop here in that area with a possibility for a break of structure. Now if the market breaks below here, we are on the trade and expecting that the market to break below and continue to trend here. So here is we can see the market in that area creating that structure. And if you look at here, you can see series of lower high. But you can see that if you look at here, you can see this is a 15 minutes perspective, and with the 30 minutes and the lower time frame, the price trying to break this support where if you look at here, you can see it's a bearish market structure in that area. Now with a narrow doji, if it is forming that narrow doji here, that might lead that price back below, or already the price has got a very sharp rejection from this support level. For our price action, so the candle close coming in couple of around 40 minutes time, and we may see that the price to potentially reject back again. So here is that we can see a doji, a lower time frame bearish price action on the 15 minutes. We see the price after this doji, it's building up that pressure. The market may possibly remain bearish, that you can see on the lower time frame. So we place the pending order here. We might get the trade triggered very soon. So my entry at 3411.90. So the my entry here is 3411.90. Okay, so I got it triggered and my trade is active. This is the second trade. The first one was we have opened during the London session on gold, and slowly here okay, so we got that the market has dropped back below and expecting the market to continue to drop here. So you see that it's building that pressure back below, and I'm holding on to that, expecting it to continue to drop here to certain levels. So you see that this is a pretty sharp drop on the lower time frame, and that's what we need to look at, which is on single drop that you can see 33 pip. So you see the 5 minutes candle closing, and it built that pressure, and that's where that you can see the price to revert back. Okay, it suddenly dropped. Now it's that we need to look at either will be running or no, because it already made its move. But let's see that 5 minutes, because it's a very tight stop loss, and we will only be running if there is a possibility for a weak fill here on the 5 minutes. Otherwise it might just go back again. Okay, so would like to see that coming back again. Okay, putting back down. Now at some point we might be closing with the running profit. I'm in a zone where there is a probability to close it, but I'm still holding on to that. I might only hold on to this 1 minute candle to take this this profit here around 22 pip. So I'm exiting the trade with the candle close with 29 to 30 pip profit. I'm out with the trade. I'm out with the trade. We'll be waiting for another entry, another successful trade in that one, and we'll keep trading like that with proper risk management and with high probability trade setup. We will be looking for further entry. We see that the market is still moving in that direction, and because the price in a very deep at the moment, and I would like to take that profit, and we will be re-entering once we see that, because it's a very tight stop loss. I hope that you guys enjoyed that live, enjoyed the trade. We still have something to take more. If you still hungry for trade, make sure you stick till the end of this live session. There will be more fun coming up, guys, along with this live trade, live analysis, live education, and also there will be more education. Let's wait to see that one next. You can see it's just trying to build that pressure below here, and it's a downtrend. We may see the market to potentially continue to trend here. This is the 4-hour candle that you can see. It's a sharp drop from the top. Now I've closed that line, and this is the 30 minutes candle on the 4-hour. So 30 minutes remaining for the 4-hour candle to close. 30 minutes price action also sharply bearish. So we might see here a continuation to that downtrend. So this is the 15 minutes here that you can see the price is pushing back down from the 5 minutes as well, which is pretty bearish. And in that market that you can see the price to potentially continue to trend here. 4-hour price action, which is, you can see it's a very sharp downtrend, and we may see the way the market is heading, we may see further continuation here for another potential drop in this market. So looking at the 1 hour that you can see and the 30 minutes before the candle close on the 4-hour, we might see either pullback or continuation back below. There's a huge fair value gap here. So is the market is coming to fill that fair value gap or straight going back to the upside here? That's the question that you need to look at the moment. The 15 minutes price action that you can see is pretty sharply bearish here, that we can see here in this market. So it might try to push back for a pullback, what I think, that before the 4-hour close, and there is a support here, which if this market goes up and close somewhere here, then we might see another potential wave up drop in this market with the candle close. So before the candle close, I think there might be now a potential pullback here. We have seen the complete breakup support on the lower time frame on gold, and so this is the nearest support. So here is, you can see that, guys, 15 minutes price action, there is a long wick bearish engulfer, and in that area the market is currently on a pullback. Before the 4-hour close, we may see that the market to do a deeper pullback and then to drop again in the major direction of the trend. So this is another successful trade that we have closed on gold, and waiting for the next trade to come up here. And this is if you look at here, it's just trying to drop back below here, which is sharply falling. 15 minutes price action, the market is penetrating that fair value gap. So this is the 4-hour candle, which is a complete breakup structure. It may continue to drop here now. It might even come back to this 20 EMA from the daily. If we look at this is the daily previous resistance turn support, which is the swing high. Now lower time frame, that you can see the market is creating pullback, and if before the 4-hour close the market bounce back here for a pullback, we might see the price to again return to the direction of the trend. Looking at the again 30 minutes chart that we are looking at to see, now this move that we can see on gold is completely break of support, and it even may come back here to this neckline because the price has gone up without proper retest of this previous resistance turn support here. Okay, so you can see the market slowly trying to build up the pressure, waiting for another possible entry, either for a reversal or a trend continuation here. So forming a pin bar here in that area, that you can see the price to potentially return from the 1 hour, which is pretty sharp long candle, and this is an important support from the 1 hour chart that you can see. So it's a bearish market, expecting it to drop back below here and to return back in the direction of the trend. So if the 4 hour candle closing in 20 minutes time, this is a very sharp drop here on the intraday, and we may see that potential continuation back below further here. So looking at, if you look at the 15 minutes, this is closing also, which might be closing as a form of doji or a pin bar, and then the market may go for a pullback here. So 30 minutes also showing a long wick candle. So this is the 30 minutes resistance so far. On the 15-minute chart also creating a very narrow pin bar here. Here is a key level that you can see the price trying to push back here from this zone. And so thanks for explanation. Absolutely. What is the best? Okay. In the meantime, guys, I'm placing a pool here to see what's your view with the market on a key level of support here that you can see. Do you think the market is going to reverse from here or breaking that support and coming to 3390 level? What's your view on that? I'm posting as a poll. So what's your view on Xauusd? That so you can see the market either to bounce or to drop. What do you think that from this level? What's your view on this? So looking at lower time frame here, it's trying to create a structure. This is the 30 minutes, which is a pin bar, right? So the question is, if we look at the 4-hour close, I think before the 4-hour close, we might see the price to go back up to close somewhere here. If that's the case, then we may see the price to remain bullish. This drop even can be a potential trend continuation here. In the past, we saw this kind of structure has formed, and from this zone the market has made a significant drop here. The price has done the same kind of structure formation here, and that is where you can see this support. Which is a big one single candle drop to that level. And from the lower time frame, there's a gap open, slowly trying to build up that pressure back to the upside again. It can be even a potential for a reversal here. So Let's see that how this 1 hour candle closing. It might be a complete liquidity grab and then to reject, or maybe a reversal here. How the candle closing is important. Daily chart, that you can see the price trying to push back again to the upside from the daily time frame, which is both directional price action is possible here. Now if you look at the 15 minutes after this candle close, it's trying to push back up. This is a very sharply falling market, and 5 minutes resistance is here. Now if this market before the 4-hour close, which is most likely to go back up here, then we could see the price to drop again in the major direction. So how the price is going back to hit that level is also an important zone that we could see the price to go ahead and retest. Looking at the 1 minute here also to see if the market is going to hit that previous resistance line and then to return again before the candle close. Yeah, so it's trying to make this move back to the upside here. This is a falling market. I would like to see that it's going straight back to the upside at 3417.50, and from that level you could see the price to revert again back below here for another drop or to test this low here. Before the 4-hour close, we have 2 more candles to form, and that if these 2 straight going back to hit that level, which is previous resistance line, that signals potentially the market to have another wave of drop back below. If you look at here 1 minute chart, this is also creating another structure for potential retest here in that area. bounce from 3397. I expect to drop to 3395. There might be there is a possibility to if for me the best entry will be again if the price reach that 3417.50 level and then breaking back below from that level. So that could be a very important zone that you could see the market to go ahead testing that or breaking that high and then turning back down. So if you look at here, it's a very narrow range in that area, and the 5-minute chart, quite a few long week, we might see another doji here on the 4 hour on the 5 minutes. So if we see back to back two doji formation, that if this market going back up here for another retest and the 4-hour closing as a long week, we may see the market to come back here to fill that long week here in that area. Now waiting for the market to test and then to reject back again here in that area. I'm looking at further lower time frame, and okay, so 3417.50, if the price is hitting that before the 4-hour close, we could see the market to again revert again back below to this support level, or to have some kind of pullback on the lower time frame. kind of market structure is forming that you can see on the intraday from 4-hour chart. It has created a pretty big long wick at the bottom, and so from the multiple time frame that I'm looking at, different time frame, it is on a pullback. So looking to see that in that area how the price action is forming. We are almost nearly to the candle close on the 1 hour, 4 hour, 30 minutes in all time frame. We will see that candle close, and that candle close, how the price action might be forming here. So you need to look at from the 5 minutes as well, forming a narrow doji here. So with the candle close, we might see initial bounce here. So that being said, we see that the market is in fact again has just taken us out of the trade on British pound US dollar and then bounced back to the upside. And on gold, there you can see the price is just close to it, another candlestick pattern formation here. So this is where 4-hour candle closed on gold, and what we can see the market in this instrument after this pretty sharp bigger candle close, what we could see here that the market to possibly create another momentum in that area. So from the 1 hour we can see there is a long wick candle formation. From the 4-hour chart that you can see there is another what I think the price may try to break below here for another retest. So that being said, we'll be waiting for another entry opportunity once the market prepare for this move here on this instrument. Now you can see there is a so there's a candle close, and we might see that now possibly a pullback to the upside. Pretty sharp bounce, and what I think the price may try to pull back, and then after the pullback we could see the price to reject back again to this support level. So, and we are almost nearly to the session's close. We have seen the 4-hour close, and we'll be waiting for further entry once the market prepared. And in the meantime, as at the end of the session, I'm waiting for further entry opportunity. I hope that guys you enjoyed this live session. We'll be coming out live again tomorrow twice. Until that, stay well, stay happy. Any trade coming along the way also we'll be sharing in the group to see where we can find our next entry opportunity. Thanks for joining the live session. I'll see you again tomorrow trading live together. Until that, stay well, stay happy.